Oras ay siya ring pag-ikot ng mundo. Sinusukat nito ang bawat kabiguan o tagumpay ng tao. Pero marami pa rin ng tila hindi binibigyang pansin o halaga ang oras. Marami ang nasasayang na panahon at pagkakataon. Mga bagay na hindi na muling maibabalik pa. Sino nga ba sa atin ang binibigyan ng importansya ang usaping pinansyal o pananalapi kung saan nakasalalay ang ating kinabukasan? Maging mga pangarap ng ating pamilya, empleyado ka man o hindi, sa oras ng iyong pagreretiro, mangangailangan ka ng mga benepisyo mula sa ating pinagpaguran at pinaghandaan. Aasa tayo sa ating Social Security, pension at malaking ipon. Kung hindi, para itong isang bangungot na ikakabahala natin. Ang kwento ni Melay at Sonia, salamin din ng pinagdadaanan ng maraming Pilipino. Simpleng may bahay si Melay, 48 years old, at 10 taon na sa pagkakarinderya. Mula noon, nagtabi siya ng 67 pesos kada araw. At makalipas ang 10 taon, nakapag-ipon si Aling Melay ng 420,740 pesos. Masipag, matipid at masinop si Melay. Inilaan ni Melay ang kanyang naipon sa tamang pag-i-invest, kumuha ng long-term care, life insurance at educational savings para sa kanyang 3 anak. At nahikayat din bumili ng shares sa stocks at mutual funds. Ang 2,000 pesos na kada buwan sa mutual funds ni Melay ay lalago ng 11 million pesos pagkalipas ng 35 years. Para daw ito sa kinabukasan ng kanyang pamilya. Nakabili na rin siya ng pampasadang tricycle para sa kanyang mister.
Nung nawalaan yung trabaho ng asawa ko, may kunting naipon man ako, kaya nagluluto na lang ako sa karinderya. Sa awa po ng Diyos, okay naman ang kita niya. May nag-alok po sa akin ng Kaiser para po maganda daw yun sa kinabukasan po namin. Natatakot po ako kasi baka masayang po ang pinagpaguran ko. Kaya po nag-imbes ako ng tama.
Nabibili naman ni Sonia ang lahat ng kanyang luho at lahat ng hilingin ng 3 anak, lalo na noong siya ay nasa ibang bansa pa. Dating caregiver sa Middle East, ang 50 anyos na si Sonia, isa siyang solong ina.
Binigay ko yung gusto ng mga anak ko. Kung anong bago, lahat meron sila. Hindi ko naisip mag-invest sa life insurance or healthcare kasi hindi naman pumasok sa isipan ko.
Kahit maraming gastos noon, nakakapagtabi si Sonia ng 70,000 pesos kada buwan o halos 840,000 pesos kada taon. Sa loob ng 5 taon, nakapag-save si Sonia ng 4.2 million pesos. Nagpagawa ng bahay at bumili ng magarang sasakyan. Pero hindi naisip ni Sonia ang mag-invest sa insurance, mutual funds at iba pang produkto na sisiguro sa kanilang future o kinabukasan.
Natatakot ako at hindi ako nakapag-invest sa life insurance at unti-unti nang nauubos ang mga naipon ko.
2 taon nang nasa Pilipinas si Sonia, pero hanggang ngayon wala pa siyang kontrata palabas ng bansa. Unti-unti na rin nauubos ang savings niya sa bangko. Sa mga ganitong sitwasyon, kailangan natin ng mga taong magtuturo ng paraan na makaahon at magkaroon ng bagong pagkakataon. Gagabay sa mga desisyon, lalo na sa usaping pinansyal. Mapagkakatiwalaan at may integridad. Ang International Marketing Group o IMG ay eksperto sa usaping ito. Isang independent company na may mga produktong tutulong sa bawat Pilipino na dumaranas sa hirap ng buhay. Pilipinong gustong makawala sa utang at maging financially secure.
In terms of investment and savings, the most important ally would be time. So in investment, savings, the most important thing is time. Because a lot of small money eventually become big. But no matter how big the money is, if you don't have the time, it will never grow.
If you let time pass by without saving money, then you will lose not only the money itself, but the future of what money can bring to you.
The longer the time you need, the less money you need to invest to reach your financial goals. But the shorter the time you have, then the more money you need to invest to reach your financial goals.
Nais ng IMG na ibahagi sa mga Pilipino ang mga estratehiya at mahahalagang hakbang para matutong mapag-ipon at iwanan ang pagwawaldas o pagsasayang ng oras sa mga pansamantala at panandaliang bagay. Tutulungan ka ng IMG na pagandahin ang takbo ng iyong pananalapi. Siguraduhin may sapat na proteksyon gaya ng pagkakaroon ng insurance, pagkakaroon ng emergency funds o savings na 3 buwan na income. I-manage ang mga utang at makakawala dito at magsimula na makapag-ipon ng pangmatagalan. Anong direksyon ang tatahakin mo? Magsasayang ka pa ba ng oras o panahon? Kailan ka kikilos? Palilipasin mo bang muli ang napakabilis na takbo ng oras? Nasa kamay mo ang desisyon. At posibleng ang tamang oras para makapagsimula ay oras na tumatakbo na ngayon.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Before we start, let's pray the True Millionaire's Prayer by Brother Bo Sanchez. So today, I ask you to bless me so that I may become a blessing. Lord, I commit myself to enrich others, but because I cannot give what I do not have, I commit myself to become rich. I commit myself to serve you and to serve the poor with my wealth. Today, I open myself to the abundance of your universe. Use me as your channel of love. Give me the ability to create wealth that will bless the world. Increase my financial wisdom and expand my territories. I place my life in your hands. Amen. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? So welcome, everyone, and I hope that you are all safe and healthy. Thank you for finding time to join in today's free financial literacy class. Thank you. I know you are all busy, but really thank you for taking this time, and I am confident that your time today will be worth it. I want to start by asking, are you all good? Hi, everyone. Yeah. So, by the way, allow me to introduce myself. I am Edina. I am an IMG marketing director and a financial advocate. I am also an investor and entrepreneur, and I am working as training and development executive in one of the BPOs here in Cebu. So, I would like to congratulate all of you for being part of our campaign, 30M by 30. This means that 30 million Filipinos by the year 2030 who are financially educated. Yes, you heard that right. We aim 30 million Filipinos by year 2030. So as early as now, I would like to thank you for being part of our campaign. Please don't forget to give your details to the person who invited you here today. Thank you. So this is the book that we will be having a study on today. And I am sure that you have heard or known Brother Bo Sanchez, right? Do you know Brother Bo Sanchez? Everyone? Okay. Hello? Okay, very good. Yes. Yes, a Brother Bo Sanchez, as most of you know, is a best-selling author and an entrepreneur. At the same time, he was known for or as the preacher in Blue Jeans. So now let me read this. Let me read a foreword from Brother Bo Sanchez. Friend, this book is your ticket to upgrading your financial life. Read it, devour it, and share it with people who need a financial revolution in their life. So for today, we will share the secret to saving and building your future. At the end of today's session, this is no longer a secret. First, do you know or have you heard IMG? Or so who or what is IMG? Anyone? You can leave a chat box. Hello. Do you know or have you heard IMG? If yes, so you know that IMG or International Marketing Group is a community. Okay? It is a community of people with a mission of helping create wealth for families and making a difference for families, so that family will be no left will be yeah we so that no family will be left behind. Take note, IMG is not a networking company. Okay? IMG is a company that educates people on how to build a solid financial foundation. IMG educates people on personal finance. In fact, IMG has this global campaign for financial literacy, as mentioned earlier. Okay? It does not just limit on educating people, but also IMG is our one-stop shop for all of our financial needs because it has partnered with established financial institutions from healthcare, life and non-life insurance, investments, and mutual funds, and a lot more. Again, IMG is not a networking company, not an insurance company, not an investment company, but a company who has partners with established companies. So now you know what is or who or what is IMG. So let me first talk briefly on a challenging future. So a large number of Filipinos will face increasing challenges in four major areas. First, an uncertain labor market. Second, low savings and high debt. Third, high cost of education. Fourth, increasing cost of living. So let's talk let's discuss one by one. Okay, so let's talk first about an uncertain labor market. Can someone tell me what can you see in this picture? If you guys are there, can you please check something? Laborers. Very good. Thanks, Jane. Correct. So laborers, machine. Very good. Automation with the help of artificial intelligence or AI and powerful software continues to replace more and more workers. So guys, take note, you are replaceable. Manufacturing jobs are moving overseas to cut costs. What does this mean? This means that we really cannot tell what's going to happen with our jobs right now, or if we still get to keep our jobs. Because again, as years pass by and with the advent of technology, the labor market prefers to have automation over manual work. Have you tried calling PLDT, Globe, or Smart? The first thing that you hear is an automated system. Yeah? So let me ask you, 10 years from now, are you certain that with your job, you still get that assurance of keeping it? And if yes, until when? Think of it. So now, let's move on to the second challenging future, which is low savings and high debt. So this has a major impact on our retirement. Many people may have to work beyond 65 years of age to survive. And it is a sad reality. This is really evident, especially in the BPO industry, wherein regardless of your age, so long as you can speak in English, then you can still work. But would it not be better if instead of working, you will just, if you reach that age, 65 years old, we can just, relax and enjoy our lives, spend quality time with our family and loved ones, right? Rather than working. Think of it. Because me, I want to retire early to enjoy the remaining years of my life. I don't want to work until 65 years old. Okay. Third challenging feature, education. High cost of education. So education is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world. It shows us the importance of hard work and at the same time help us grow and develop, but not, of course, but not all parents can afford sending their children to school because of what? Financial lack of financial capability. Yes, we do have public schools here, but it is not entirely free, right? We still need to spend money. That is why knowing that education has a high cost as well as the lack of preparation for college planning, we need to ensure that we prepare because it will hurt the younger generation. Would you want that to your would you want that to happen to your younger generations? So let me ask you, are you saving for your children's future? Or utang is still the answer? Think of it. Okay, last, so we have the fourth challenging future, increasing cost of living. Let me ask all of you, where will your 1,000 pesos go nowadays? Is it enough? Can you check? If you have 1,000 pesos, is it enough to buy a lot of things nowadays? Hello? Okay, so for me, definitely the 1,000 pesos nowadays is not enough. Okay, compare the same amount of 1,000 10 years ago. We can really tell the huge difference because before, your grocery basket is almost full of groceries for 1,000 pesos. Right now, it's not even half of the grocery basket. That is called inflation. So do you know what's inflation? Inflation means you have to pay more for the same goods and services. But if your income doesn't keep pace with inflation, your buying power declines. That's why your 1,000 pesos is not enough nowadays. Over time, inflation increases your cost of living. If the inflation rate is high enough, it hurts you and, of course, the economy. Increasing cost of living makes us to have difficulties in saving money for our future needs. And when the need arises, like emergency, for example, home repair, illness, tuition, so do you have enough funds or savings to cover for those emergency, like emergency repair at home? Do you have enough? But what if when we do not have enough? What if we don't have enough savings? What's our only option? Our go-to option? What is it? Debt or utang? Would you want to just go with the flow and let utang control you? Really? Think of it. You need to plan for your future. Okay. Okay. Now, the book highlighted that when it comes to securing and saving for our future, a lot of good people, smart people, even hardworking people, young and old, regardless of your profession, if you are a doctor, teacher, farmer, carpenter, seaman, engineer, call center agent, or whatnot, all of these amazing individuals may end up retiring without enough savings. Okay? No matter how intelligent you are, no matter how hardworking you are, you may end up retiring without enough savings. And what during when you reach 65 or 60 years old, you will just wait for your, okay, let's say you have SSS or GSIS, but how much? So normally that's around 6, 8, 10K. Say you work for 30 or 40 years, in Goro you will get 10 to around 10 to 15 thousand each month, if that's the case. Okay, is it enough? Do you think that's even enough for us to say that we are covered? Okay, definitely a big no. We have to consider when we grow old, our like medicines, maintenance, daily food consumption. And for us Filipinos, we also take care of our extended families, even when we are already old, because that is our culture. I'm not saying it's bad, but we can do something to address this, right? We all wanted to become successful. Am I right? Am I correct? Left? Charlotte. Okay. So all of us really want, or we wanted to become successful. No one here wanted to fail. But because we did not plan for our future, we may end up failing. Why? Why did we not plan for our future? Why? Why? Do you know why? Hello? Are you guys listening? Ah, okay. So why? Because majority of us lacks financial education. It was not even taught much at schools and during our younger years. Okay. Um, we were in the understanding that for us to be financially free, we need to get a job after like 4 years of college or 5 years of college. After that, if we have a work or job na, we think na financially free na tayo. And then save in banks. But later on, you would know why I would not recommend saving in the bank. Financial literacy is critical because it equips us with the financial and skills we need to manage money effectively. So that's why we need financial education. Some of you might tell me, I have been attending financial education sessions. I've been reading a lot of books on financial freedom. I have been watching YouTube videos on savings and financial education. That's great. But the question is, are you applying it? Are you putting those or these learnings into actions? Are you practicing what you know? And do we walk the talk? Still, there's a lack of financial education. Okay? Of course, your future is not in the hands of your employers. We all work so hard for our future to be dependent on our employers and not even in the hands of the banks. No one else can teach you to become wealthy. If you want to be wealthy, you need to learn how to do it yourself. You cannot expect your employer to make you wealthy. You cannot expect the bank to make you wealthy, and you cannot expect your friends to make you wealthy. Okay? Your future is in your hands. So let's claim this today. Okay? Please type in the chat box and repeat this by heart. My future is in my hands. Okay? Can you please type your future or my future is in my hands? Oh, thank you. Mark? Oh, my future is in my hands. Your future is in your hands. You got to make sure that if you want to become wealthy, you need to understand how money works. Okay? And no one else is going to teach you that except yourself. You got to learn how to become your own money manager. And guess what? How do you become your own money manager? How? Well, you got to learn how to do it yourself, or DIY. Of course, IMG will guide you. We will teach you, but at the end of the day, you got to learn how to do it yourself. We are already in this do it yourself era. Okay? Um, you got to learn. You got to learn how to create a solid financial foundation for yourself and for your family to make sure that you will become wealthy and successful. Remember this, your future lies in your very own hands. It's up to you what path you would want to go. Okay? Do it yourself. And your future is in your hands. By the way, what do the wealthy people know that us normal people don't know? do you think? What do the wealthy know that normal people don't know? Can you like something? Are you ready to learn the key financial concepts and learn how money works? Okay. So if so that's our oh, thank you. They know how to become more rich, which is correct. So let's learn how to do that. Okay. So let's learn the key financial concepts and learn how money works for us. So if you're so please be ready. So your financial literacy journey starts now. So these three major concepts will either blow your mind away or make you very happy. Because the moment I learn about these concepts, my perception and mindset towards finances positively change. That's how impactful these learnings are. So before we get moving, I need you to be comfortable and focused. Look for a good spot in your place because I need your full attention for this. Okay, for this to work. Okay, let's start. So let me introduce our first concept, the X curve concept. So that this has nothing to do with your access. Okay, forget the bad access and replace it with this new one. And as you can see, there are three lines, right? So we have the first, we have the red line, which is the responsibility line. The green one, that's the money line. And then the gray one, that's our timeline or our time here. Okay. Remember this. One of the most important analyze when it comes to saving is time. When we are younger, our money line is low. However, our responsibility line is high. It's because we help our families. We pay for our rent, we buy for our basic needs, we pay for sending our children or siblings to school, and a lot more responsibilities. Okay? And as you can see, as the money line goes up, the responsibility line goes down. Eventually, will end. Because the more money we have, the more challenges that money can solve. I've heard a lot of people saying money can't buy happiness, but it can buy the things you need and want, right? Now, what is the significance of the timeline here? This one, the gray line. Our timeline tells us that the younger we start saving, the better chances of our money to grow. A reality check. With money, you can help yourself. And of course, you can help yourself, your family, and loved ones, right? Am I correct, right, or wrong, or left? Okay, so guys, money can help us in every way. So another reality check. All of us will grow old, right? Grow old or and eventually die. No one is exempted. But when we get there, are we type of persons who just lets our loved ones suffer with our loss? Or are we the type of persons who cares for our loved ones the moment we die? I know this is a sensitive topic, but we need to discuss this. What if we die too soon? Who will take care of your family? Maybe your parents, siblings, children. Who will take care of them if you die too soon? So the solution is insurance. I know. Us Filipinos are so allergic when we hear the word insurance, and I used to be guilty with it. Why? Because we are on the understanding that insurance is for ourselves, which is not, okay? And that we don't need it just yet. That is not our priority at the time being. So insurance is not for ourselves, okay? That is a big mistake. Insurance is for our family. and loved ones. If we die too soon, who will take care and protect our families for them to move on financially? That is a real reason why we need insurance. This is for our family and loved ones. And if you have an existing insurance right now, if you have an existing insurance, let me ask you, do you know your policy and coverage? If yes, which is really good, but if not, please read carefully your policies and you will understand what am I talking about. You might just be paying too much your whole life for a very low coverage. Now, what if we live too long? We live too long. So what is the solution? So if we die too soon, the solution is insurance, right? But what if we live too long? So the solution is investment. When we become older, we have to protect ourselves. Meaning, once we are old, we need to have enough funds by that time for us to live and for us to enjoy. Now, when is the best time to save? When do you think? When is the best time to save? Okay, can you please chat in our chat box if when is the best time to save? Today? Thanks, Mark. Today. Yeah, today. Oh, the best time to save, it should be, or it was yesterday. But of course, today is not too late. Okay? It's still not too late for us to save today. Um, when we still have money and when we are still young, and we need to save for our future self. Okay? Do we save when we are already sick? Of course not, right? It should be when we are still working. When we are still working, we need to save. So we need to save when we are still healthy. Save, of course. We need to save while working and earning an income. We need to save because this is also for our future self, our future selves, of course. So that's the first concept. So now let's move on to our second concept, which is the rule of 72. Or the power, so rule of 72 or the power of compounding interest. This is a formula wherein we can get the number of years it will take for money to double or grow. In this formula, the number 72, which is always constant, is divided by the interest rate, which will equal the number of years our money will double. For example, at my age of 27, for the purpose of easy computation, I have 1K in the bank. And knowing that the interest rate of bank usually, for example, BPI, that's 0.25%. But let's say it's 1%, okay? But I think other banks also offers maybe 0.75 or lower than 0.25%. So think on saving in the bank. So let's just say 1%. So when will my 1,000 turn to 2K or 2,000? When? And at what age? So let's do the rule of 72. So 72 divided by 1 equals 72, right? Am I right? Okay. So my 1K will turn to 2K or 2,000 after 72 years, which means it will double when I'm already 99 years old. So that is if, or that's if I'm still alive at that time, 99 years old, right? Do you understand now why I am not recommending saving in the bank if we want our money to grow? This is really shocking, I know, and a bit frustrating at the same time because if I just let my money stay in the bank, it will take forever, at least my forever sa kanila. diba? It will take forever for it to double and for me to enjoy my remaining years. So again, time is one of the most important allies when it comes to saving. Again, the power of compounding interest is our friend. That is if we know how this works. But if we do not know and understand how compounding interest works, it's going to be our enemy. Why? Because compounding interest also applies to utang. Diba? Every time you're mangungutang ka, you need to pay it with interest. Okay? So, excuse me. So now in this example, if you can see this, what if I tell you that we have a vehicle, not literal vehicle, or let's say other way that can give us a much higher interest rate compared to banks and calls? Would you be happy if I'll say that we have another vehicle or other way? Would you be happy, guys? Of course, me. Yes, I will be, or I am, of course, I will be happy. Okay. In this table, you can see the different interest rates from 4%, right? 8% and 12%. So let's apply the rule of 72. Let's do the 4% first. So 72 divided by 4. So 18, right? So it will take 18 years for your money to double. In this example, at the age of 30, you have like 100,000. It shows here 100,000. So it will become 200,000 at the age of 48, right? 30 plus 18, that's 48, right? So, and let's say you don't need the money back. Once you reach the age 48, you don't need the money back. So because you're still strong and healthy, so you decided to let it grow. Okay, you let it grow more. So your 200,000 will become 400,000 when you reach the age of 66. Okay, because that 48 plus 18, so that's 66. So initially, imagine you only have 100,000 initially, and you let us help you in growing that amount, so that when you reach the age of 56, it's now way higher than what you initially have or invested. Is it a good news? For me, yes, it is really a good news. Another good news. What if 8%, right? So same formula that will apply, but since the interest rate is now at 8%, it will now take 9 years for your money to double, right? 70 divided by 8. So that's 9. So when you reach the age of 66, 66, your 100 will become 1.6 million. Amazing, right? It is very possible, given that it's on an 8% interest rate. And what if we have that vehicle to turn your money with an interest rate of 12%? This one. Will you not be happy? Me, of course. I'm happy with 4, of course, 8, but happier if it's 12%, right? Because it will only take 6 years for money to double since the interest rate is higher and we follow the rule of 72. So that by the age of 66, your initial money will become 6.4 million. So which is really great. Please, if someone approaches you and tells you, hey, we can invest in this company and then your return will be like 30%, 40%, that is a scam. Scam na yun, ha? So any interest rate more than 12%, maybe 4, 15, whatsoever, scam na. So you need to be financially educated to know more. Okay, where to invest your money and where to put your money, of course. Okay. So now see the difference. numbers don't lie. So guys, diba? We do not make up these numbers. These are backed up with a formula. You can Google it yourself if you are still not convinced. But the numbers have spoken already, right? So imagine in banks you get less than 1% in costs, maybe 3 or 4, meron bang 4%. But here we are showing you possibilities. 4% is already good. 8 is a lot better, but 12 is great, right? What do you want to do with these amounts? What's your long-term goal? Ask yourself, what do I want to do with these amounts? What is my long-term goal? So I want all of you to think of it. Think of your goals, write it down if you can, and we will help you make it happen. Okay? Do we now understand the power of compounding interest? Do we now understand? If, diba? 70 divided by whatever interest rate. So there. So remember what Albert Einstein said on compounding interest. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. Pays it. Okay. So, diba? Because if you will invest or save, that's a good compounding interest. But if it's utang, that is not a good thing. Okay. So let's move on. Diba? At least tayo naka-move on na. So now before we go to our third and final concept, what can you see in this presentation? So can you please tell me what can you see? Is it a house? Of course, it is a house. It is a house, a beautifully made house. And if you're thinking I am selling a house, no, I'm not. Okay, I just want that. This is just my example for our third concept. So I just want to ask you guys, how do you build or how do we build a house? How do you build your dream house? Do we put the roof first or do we install surface flooring or what? Miss Rich, beautiful house. It is really a beautiful house. So when we build our house, our dream house, of course, we need to start. We should start with the house foundation. We need to start from the ground, right? Hindi naman yung mag-build ka ng house sa roof yung uunahin mo. Diba? Ano yan? So dapat from the ground. So when we say foundation, it must be a solid and strong one. Do you agree? Diba? It should be strong. So why is it a must to have a solid foundation when building a house? Why? When building a house, why do we need a solid foundation? Why? Ako na lang. So we are building our house so that we have something to protect us, right? Our loved ones from heavy rains, thunderstorms, typhoons, scorching heat from the sun, and a lot more. It's for our protection. That's why. So it is important to make the foundation of our houses as solid as possible. So now I'll introduce our third concept. So this is the solid financial foundation. So how to build the solid financial foundation? It is built from the ground up, just like building your own house. Please take note and write these down. First, you will not start from investment. You need to start from the ground, which is healthcare, protection, eliminate debts, emergency funds, and then lastly, investment. Because 90% of the reason for bankruptcy is sickness. That is why the base of our financial foundation should be proper healthcare and proper protection. Owning a life insurance is not a right, but a privilege. Okay? Because if you apply for an insurance on a very late age, what will happen? You will eventually get denied because when you grow old, of course, if, all of us will grow old. That's the reality. Our body will pay for its price for all the long hours that we work overtime and stress at work. So if we don't get it now, your family will suffer. Okay. Simultaneously, we have to, so after healthcare protection, we need to eliminate debts. The third one, debts are like leakages in our financial house. We buy things that we do not necessarily need. Okay? You might tell me I have money and I can afford it. I agree with you. Yes, you may have money and you can afford it, thus you can buy it, but when will you prepare for your future? When? Diba? In eliminating debts or utang, we have other group studies, we have other class for that on this. But in a nutshell, for you to eliminate debts or utang, you start by listing all your utang, check the ones with a higher interest rate or the highest interest rate. And if you have the resource of paying it first, then do so. Okay, do it. The fourth one, that's emergency funds. What do you know emergency fund? The word itself, emergency. So like you should have that. Maybe good thing for emergency funds, guys, you can put it sa bank niyo kasi accessible lang, di ba? So emergency funds, that's maybe for this for your future or mga maybe natural disaster, yung mga emergency, di ba? At least you will just get the money easily. You will put it sa bank. But for investment, bank is not, I'm not recommending bank for investment or for saving for your future. So how much do you think should be placed as our emergency funds? How much? So if you're single, you need to have at least like 3 months, diba, worth of your monthly income. If you are married or have partner, then you have to double it as your emergency funds. So right now in this pandemic, this started March, right? And it's already March last year. So nag-anniversary na si this pandemic. So at least lang, you are prepared because last year, marami yung na-retrench, di ba, sa trabaho. So at least you have enough amount or emergency funds to cover while maybe waiting na tawagan ulit na company mo, or you have means on, you can use it if you're trying to apply for another job. Okay, so 3 months worth of your monthly income if you're single, or maybe for if you have family na, so dapat more than six months na salary, monthly income placed as your emergency funds. Okay, then so yun, you really need to have emergency funds as well. Lastly, last na si investment. Okay, investment is very tempting, yes, and most of us like to invest. I am one. Okay, I am for one guilty for this because I wanted to invest my money right there and then because it has a great returns. So without thinking or without asking if is it legit or SEC registered ba yun. So diba? Nasasabi lang na may 30% to 40% na return daw. So push. Diba? Anong nangyari? Scam. Okay? So that's why, guys, you need to know if is it really a legit company, because what if you get sick? So let's say is investment. What if you get sick? What if a family member gets sick? If a loved one dies, what are you going to do? Of course, or I will be forced, or if it's me, if I started with investment, I will be forced to withdraw my investments since I need to help out myself or my family get through that difficult times. Diba? This defeats the purpose of investments. The purpose of investment is for us to have something that we can enjoy in the long run when we retire and get old. So we should not be easily tempted with investments if we do not have a solid financial foundation. I have witnessed a lot of people who were forced to withdraw their investments because they need that money for their family who has an illness. To some, they were forced to withdraw their money from their investment because they themselves are sick. Okay, so illness talaga ang 90% ng bankruptcy. So ano nangyari sa bankrupt ang isang company or isang tao because of sakit. So please, last na si investment. Again, it is really a sad reality, right? Can we blame them or can we blame ourselves? All we want is just to invest, diba? Of course, no, because no one taught us or taught them to have a solid financial foundation. So please, solid financial foundation. If you agree that we need to do or we need to follow the solid financial foundation. We need to start from the ground before reaching investment, right? Yeah. So that's our third concept. So where do we need to invest? Okay, if you want, so the last part. So where do we need to invest? When we say investment, first thing that comes to our mind is stock market, right? So we have two types of investment: the solid and liquid investment. Solid investments are your condo, jewelry, car, and a lot, your real estate or other yung tindahan nyo, whatsoever. A solid investment is the tangible. So, where yung nakikita mo, nahawakan mo, right? Well, liquid investments, these are stock market and mutual funds. So, if you want to know more, about investments and mutual funds, then join IMG, and you will learn great things about stock market and mutual funds because we have different classes for that. Okay. So emergency funds, earlier I've mentioned that you need to have like 3 to 6 months deposited in the banks. If you can have more than good. Why do we need emergency funds again? Why? Because of the any situation. Same current situation, we have pandemic, right? So this is for emergency purposes only, no other reasons. Sale sa mall, like iPhone, new iPhone is not an emergency, okay? It's not an emergency. So you will not get your emergency funds just to buy those things. If you want to learn how to effectively build your emergency fund, then join IMG. We also have separate classes for that. So we have a lot of classes here in IMG. So eliminate debts again. So yun, you need to list all your utang. Tapos you need to bayaran mo yung my highest interest rate. Okay? If you have na, for at least yung hinay-hinay. Okay? Because the utang hinders us from building our emergency funds and slow us in investing. So that's why nasa sa gitna, di ba? Yung eliminate debts. So do you know about life insurance? So that's your protection. Is this taught in school? Of course, life insurance is not taught in. It was not taught in school. Why? I don't know. Siguro we were not taught about this financial literacy or financial education. Yeah? So life insurance is a protection, okay, not for yourself. Okay, this is a protection for your family. So life insurance is vital, especially if you are a winner of your family or you're the one helping your family for their needs and wants. Then this serves as a protection for you. As well, we are building our wealth, our financial house. And if something bad happens to us, our family will be able to get through financially without us because they will get an ample amount as our beneficiaries if we are gone, right? So that's the purpose of life insurance, not for yourself, but for your family or loved ones. So healthcare, there we have, that's the first part sa solid financial foundation, right? Healthcare. So we have three types of healthcare. We have short-term, senior care, and long-term. So short-term healthcare are our HMOs like MaxiCare, IntelliCare. If you're still working, you have HMOs, right? These are very helpful for now while we are still working. But what happens if you leave your organization or your company? Can you tell your employer that, hey, I want to bring my policy or HMO with me, since I've been working for this company for a very long time? So of course you cannot do that. We cannot bring our HMO with us the moment we resign from our jobs. Okay, so that's the short term. The second one is senior care. This is designed for our senior citizens, 60 years old and above. This is a health care that is much costly, and this is renewed annually. And since this is renewed yearly or annually, there is a big chance of it getting denied, because when we are older, or when we are older, and at that time when we are vulnerable and easily get sick and other illnesses. Okay, third one is long-term healthcare, and this is the most recommended for starters because it has already healthcare, protection, and investment. So sa solid financial foundation natin, pasok na yung tatlo: the healthcare, the protection, the life insurance, and investment. So again, let us ask ourselves, what if we die too soon? Who will take care of our families and loved ones? IMG will be here to help you and guide you. Okay? And healthcare is the very foundation of our financial house, because let's remember this: health is wealth, because we will never know what will happen tomorrow. Do you agree? Right? We don't know what will happen tomorrow, so we need to prepare. And at this point, I will now show you another interesting video.
Kahit ano man ang estado natin sa buhay, we keep working. But we keep forgetting. We seem to forget that health is the real wealth. Kasi you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Ang mas nangangailangan yung mga lalong nahihirapan. Kung kaya naman nilang maghulog ng paunti-unti, basta meron kanya, may protection ka. Kasi baka yung kinikita mo hindi sapat sa pambili ng gamot. Marami nakakasakit, mga anak, di ba? O ikaw mismo. Lalo kung ikaw yung breadwinner, nagtatrabaho ka para sa pamilya mo, tapos bigla ka nagkasakit, paano na yung pamilya mo? At kahit nga anong estado, it's one thing off your list ang aalalahanin. Kahit ako, di ba? So, that's why it's important to have it. Kasama ko ang Kaiser, kahit maputi na ang buhok ko. May Kaiser health card ka na ba? Sharon Cuneta po, para sa Kaiser.
Okay, there. So Sharon Cuneta is our Kaiser ambassadress. So healthcare, protection, and investment, three major financial needs. Let us remember, health is wealth. Okay, regardless of our status in life, that is why I would strongly recommend for starters to have healthcare, protection, and investment. So now, what if I tell you that you will get to address these three major financial needs in one go? Would you care and give it a thought? Huh? Yes, we have. Again, IMG is a community. We do not have any products, but we have established partnerships that IMG screened carefully. I even had my own 3-in-1. Again, it's never too late. Okay, the best time to do this was yesterday, but today is not too late. You have to take that step forward to achieve your goals. So I am proud to introduce to you the Kaiser 3-in-1 savings program. This is long-term healthcare, insurance, and investments, a 3-in-1. And only IMG is authorized and licensed to broker and introduce Kaiser, no one else. Okay, so just IMG. If only I had known that we have such a thing as Kaiser back then, I would have immediately grabbed that opportunity. But again, today is never too late. Okay? Now, how does this work? So you pay for 7 years. once you have finished paying for 7 years, Kaiser will issue a certificate of full payment. Then you wait for another 13 years until it matures. So after 7 years, stop na. But covered ka for a total of 20 years. So 7 plus 13, that's 20 years until it matures. Okay. So the younger you are, to start with Kaiser 3-in-1, the better. And if you are young at heart, it is never too late as well. In this table, we are getting an example. By the way, it's already 5 p.m. Sorry, I'm almost done. Just give me another like 5 to 10 minutes of your time. Okay. So in this, uh, so for example, at the age of 22, this one, K100 plan with 58,821 annual installment amount. So please don't be surprised or afraid of this amount. Again, this is for book study purposes only. So we have a lower than K100 and higher than K100 na plan. Okay, so just ask the person who invited you today. So this is just for example. So now, so if you can see, by the way, that's for annual, but we have you have an option to go on a monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, and annual payment terms. And if you go with the annual payment terms, you will save 2 months worth of payment if we compare it with the monthly payment. So you will save like 2 months, so you will just pay 10 months. In this example, the K100 plan has monthly payment of 5,882. And if we multiply that to 12 months, it's equal to 7,584. In this sample, where we choose chose the annual installment amount for 58,820, this means we have a savings of 11,764. So, di ba, nakasave ka ng 11,764 or 2 months worth. And that's already great deal, right? So if you have the money now, better yet, opt for annual installment plan. But whichever plan or payment terms you will choose, it's you who decides. Again, you are in control of your future. You are your own money manager. Okay, so it's never today's not too late. Not too late yet for you. Okay. Aside from annual physical exam, dental benefits, and more, another great deal if you go with Kaiser 3-in-1 is the waiver of installment due to death of policyholder. If something happens to me as a policyholder, what will happen to my policy? So it will be paid in full. And if it's because of an accident, the life insurance will double and will transfer to the beneficiary good as paid. So, diba? That's the purpose of your insurance. Okay. And this slide, you can see that once you've already paid your Kaiser after 7 years, you will just need to wait for it to mature. Note that the investment in Kaiser will not necessarily make you rich because this is for you not to have difficulty when you grow old. It's like your retirement. And for me, one of the things that I love about Kaiser is that once you fully paid your policy so after 7 years, from the 8th onwards, pre-existing critical illness are covered, even maternity benefits. It is covered from the 8th onwards, which is really, really good. Please be part of our community. Education without application is entertainment. No matter how much we learn and understand, but if we are not putting these learnings into actions, we will never be financially free. Again, your future lies in your very hands. It's up to you what path you would want to go. That's why application is as equally important as learning. So please apply what you learned today. Okay? So if you didn't like financial education and you find it as a waste of time and you prefer to spend rather than saving, and you already know everything about personal finance, and if you believe that your children are your retirement fund and that you are too scared to make sacrifices now, as you prefer to enjoy the moment, then I will not encourage you to join IMG. Okay, IMG, as mentioned, is a community of people with a mission of helping create wealth for families and making a difference for families, so that there will be no family left behind. And for a community to sustain itself and its mission, it needs to have members. And when you become part of IMG, you will get to experience more benefits. You will have your own portal, and you can see we have a lot of benefits, like 40 benefits or more. If I will just focus on the ones that I personally like for now, okay? So you will have a lifetime access to financial education classes that you can see, more learnings, better understanding, results guided decisions, right? So you also have 100,000 personal accident insurance if you will join IMG, 50,000 memorial benefits for those who have St. Peter's plan for 800 per month for 5 years, which is equal to 48,000. This really, it's just the same with the 50,000, right? So this is really a good deal because you only need to pay a one-time payment, only one-time payment, not monthly. Okay, so here, so how much? That's 6,000. So one-time payment only for to become an IMG member. So for only 6,000 pesos one-time membership fee, you get access to all these practical benefits and get huge savings and discounts. This is fair and reasonable enough given the list of benefits that you will get once you will become IMG member. Okay, I know you want to get yourself protected and have the Kaiser 3-in-1, right? Because again, health is wealth, and we have to get proper protection and healthcare. That is why we have this associate number. So Kaiser plus membership. So that's if you want to do it like go with the monthly amount for the 3-in-1 Kaiser, then you will just pay total of 12,382. That's already included with the 6,000. So you get to be protected with our K100 plan. Again, we have other lower or higher plan. Plus, you get to be part of the IMG community. On top of what I have mentioned earlier, you will also have 1 million personal accident insurance, 500,000 memorial benefits, 1.1 million retirement and healthcare funds. And if you want to do the business side of IMG, you get to share and educate people on our mission of helping create wealth and making difference for families. Okay. So again, main goal is not really just to sell, but we educate and we help you understand. That's the main goal of IMG. Understand, we are here to help you understand and learn how to build a solid financial foundation. We should share this to our families and friends. We should not be selfish. Okay. So once again, be counted for our 30M by 30 financial literacy campaign. Please don't forget to give your details to the person who invited you today. And I really appreciate your time. And I want to welcome you in advance to our growing community. Again, my name is Edina. Feel free to contact me and allow me by asking you this. So this is my question for you guys. You have two choices in life. Okay? Would you rather sacrifice now and enjoy later, or enjoy now and suffer later? What would you like to choose? Thank you and have a great day, everyone. So guys, if you have questions, you can ask the person who invited you today. Thank you. Goodbye.